So Mario Maker 2 is now out. Went ahead and picked it up today, and I spent a good portion of the day just kind of playing it, checking out the different modes, and seeing what I thought about the game. Now, the first Super Mario Maker on the Wii U, I played a good bit, but I did stop playing after a while, so I missed some of the updates that they did. But outside of that, I had fun with it, wasn't into the building as much, so I wanted to go into this game, specifically thinking about what if I didn't want to build anything, and I was mostly about playing the game, like just playing through the levels and different things that people create in this, rather than me try to create different levels for other people. Is this game at that point worth $60? No. I'm just kidding. It's Mario Maker. Of course it's worth the money. So the biggest thing about this is I really wanted to check out the story mode. Now that caught me by surprise when they showed that in the Direct. Now during the Direct, they showed all kinds of cool stuff that they were adding, the slopes, kind of the snake blocks and everything, the little cars that they had. It was really, really cool. They showed of course, the 3D Mario World and everything. That was great. But when they showed story mode, I became very interested, and I started playing through it here, and I've played an okay amount of it so far. I'm still working through it. Again, these are my impressions. But I really like the story mode, actually. It's fun. It's really fun. And I'm going through it, and what happens is in the beginning you have your castle all set up and everything. Gets knocked down to pretty much nothing. You have just like a blank plot of land, and you have to rebuild. And the way you rebuild is you have like a full construction company there with you, and you have to collect coins by taking contracts, which are mostly just levels that then give you coins as you go through. And any coins you collect in each level, you actually get to also put towards your purse to then rebuild this castle. And as you rebuild it in real time, you can actually go in the castle, you can walk around, and then you eventually talk to other toads that are kind of hanging out, and they'll even at times give you different levels to do, and it actually opens more paths. It's really, really neat, actually. I was actually caught off guard a bit by the story mode, because what it does is it adds progression to Mario. It's really neat. It's a really cool idea to have you actually take your coins and put them towards something. Now, I remember when New Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. 2, I believe, came out on the 3DS, there was this whole thing about getting like 1,000,000 coins or something, and okay, that was fine, but this actually gives you a reason to collect coins. Like, if you see, like, one of those 10 pieces or those 30 pieces when you're going through the story mode, like, you want to get it because it can be used towards building your castle up. And, of course, the whole point is to eventually get to 100% and, you know, have your castle all built. So there is, like, an end goal here, rather than just clear every board, just to clear every board and get to the end of the game. You're actually trying to build this thing up. It's a really neat idea. I actually really like it. So I hope they continue it. In fact, if they do, which we assume they will eventually, you know, do a Mario Maker 3 and all of that, or maybe an update, I would like to see them take this story mode and let people actually build with story mode. So maybe they give you like a little castle you're allowed to build up, and you can have your own contracts and everything that you collect, and then you give to people to do, and then they can build up a castle that you've predetermined what it's going to look like. That would be really neat. Maybe they can build on top of this going forward, but as it stands now, I think the story mode's like 8 to 10 hours to finish. I'm just going to go through it, and I'll get a solid 8 to 10 hours of just story mode out of this game, which is not what I originally thought I was going to be doing. The other thing I like about the story mode is it's all levels that were built, I guess, by developers and everything, and they're not necessarily looking to be difficult. They're looking to show you the mechanics of the game, the new stuff they've added. Like, there were some really cool ones in there with the switcher block that I really liked. They did stuff with, like, the angry sun. They did one that was really cool, where you're actually going through, and the entire time there's a poison mushroom that's trying to hit you, so you're basically going through an auto-scroll level while this thing is trying to get you, and that was fun. Although, there was a point where you can actually hit the build button if you're having a hard time in the level and give yourself a power-up, or you could change the terrain and stuff. And I gave myself a star just to see what happens, with the whole point of the level being there's a poison mushroom trying to get you. So I gave myself a star, and then I just absorbed the poison mushroom, and the rest of the level was, like, broken. It just defeated the entire point of that level. So I get that's supposed to be there to make things easier if you're having a hard time, or maybe it's a younger gamer who's struggling and they want to throw themselves a star. Just know that some of those levels that they've thought of would be completely broken if you do that at times. I did try the online mode, and of course, this is the first time that I think anyway, where you would play Mario online from Nintendo, like platforming Mario, and it works to a degree, I guess. I had some matches where it worked fairly well, and then others where it was bad, like it barely worked. There was bad lag, people were getting timed out, and it's definitely launch day, I'll give them that. So I would say by next week, I would expect a lot of these things to be ironed out. But as it stands now, you are rolling the dice heavily when you jump into a competitive match if it's going to work. I had more success, actually, in cooperative matches. I don't know why that was or what the deal was there, but I had better success in terms of connection quality when I did that. It was noticeable with the lag. Like when I was playing, you could definitely tell something was going on with your button presses. They were well behind, and it was fairly easy to accidentally go into a pit or run into a Goomba that you normally wouldn't offline. So unfortunately at this time, it's not an amazing experience online when it comes to competitive play or anything like that. But going online to get levels is amazing still. I mean, it's Mario Maker. It's what we did with the first one, where we would go online and we would download levels and have a blast, and people would make some of the coolest stuff. Well, it's been dialed up further because there's just more stuff to do in this game when it comes to creating levels. There are so many cool things already online. I really can't believe how much stuff is already there. Some levels have been played like 80,000 times already. And it's not all really hard levels. There are some, but because they have so many filters and tags, you can pretty much get rid of a lot of the really hard ones. And if you want to just do ones that people have actually built to, be beaten but have fun with, you can do that. People have already been playing around with the switcher, the different switcher blocks, which are really cool. People had there was really one that I went through that had a really neat puzzle that you go through. And then of course, tons of auto levels where Mario will pretty much complete the level on his own. There was one that I found that played like an entire Zelda theme, which was cool. I mean, we had ones like this in the first Mario Maker, but I like that they have tags and stuff, so I can find these levels if I want, because sometimes it's cool to have them if someone like wants to just, like, if you just want to show them to like a friend or something, or like, look at this really cool auto level I found. You can pull it up pretty easily. You can also follow different people and rate their stuff and everything. It's definitely a bit better when it comes to social interaction. However, they still have like the IDs and stuff you have to use, and I was kind of hoping they would get a little better when it comes to that, whether it's like, I know the course IDs, you just share it and you punch it in. They have like creator IDs and everything, I believe. So it's still a bit of an annoyance to actually find people if you really want to find someone, but it's still really fun to download stuff, and you can either play them right away, and I guess it'll download it temporarily and then get rid of it, or you can just down the level so you can then play it offline. But I already downloaded a few that I really like just to have on the Switch, and I'm looking forward to what else people come up with, because this is just day one, and there's already crazy stuff on there. So I don't build much at all in Mario Maker. Like, I barely built in the first one, if at all. I would let like nephews or someone else build stuff if they wanted to just try it, but I would always look at it and be like, I'm not really into level editors or anything like that. But I did jump in just to check it out, and I have to say, I do think Mario Maker was originally built with 2 screens in mind, because it does feel kind of cramped on one screen for the Switch, right? In portable mode, you can use, of course, the stylus and everything, and people actually like that, but people obviously want the option to not have to use a stylus or the touch screen. But in docked mode, I was looking at it, and there was just so much stuff around the screen, and the actual real estate was a little smaller and everything. It felt very cramped, I think is the best word for it. It's obviously something you can work with and build and everything. I don't know if they'll update and change up the UI or move stuff around as they hear feedback, but as someone who was, of course, inexperienced with building levels, I wasn't that interested in navigating that menu. They have a tutorial, obviously, to help you, but it really took me being already uninterested, and now I'm definitely not interested in building stuff, just because it doesn't feel as intuitive, I guess, as I was expecting it to be. It definitely wasn't something that clicks right away for me. It would probably take a while for me to kind of go through, figure out where everything goes, how to build and everything. But for people who were veterans in the first one and love building stuff, they're having a field day right now already. So I'm really happy for people that enjoy that kind of stuff. And obviously the tools are there to do it. The clear condition is so cool. Like I did look at that. And that's something that you see right away when it comes to online or levels in the story mode, where you have certain conditions you have to meet before you can clear them. And if you have not met those conditions, the flagpole at the end or the tape and everything at the end, it's just like a dotted line. You have to still go back and do it. And people are already using that heavily, and it's really, really fun. There was one in story mode that I liked where you're not supposed to jump. If you jump, or if you land, if you fall and land, you can't complete the level. It's just over. So I do like some of those really cool clear conditions that are being added right now. And people, again, already going crazy with it. So if you enjoy building levels, you're probably going to like it here. But I do see this definitely as a 2-screen experience, and they're trying to adapt it to a single screen. But so far, so good. I'm liking what I'm playing, and I do question the need for more 2D Mario if something like Super Mario Maker 2 exists. Like, at this point, if you walk into a store and you see Super Mario Maker 2 and then New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe next to each other for the same price, buy Mario Maker 2. I'm sorry, I don't know why you would buy New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at this point. It makes no sense to me. That's literally a mode in this game. You just buy this. It's basically made that game obsolete, is what I'm trying to say. 3D Mario alongside a Super Mario Maker 2 makes the most sense. But I guess some people like the levels that are in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But let me know what you guys think so far about Super Mario Maker 2. I'm enjoying it. I kind of expected I would because it's more Mario Maker, but the story mode really is my favorite thing so far, and it's really caught me off guard. But I'm curious what you guys have to say about this as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, get subscribed as we have all kinds of cool stuff coming up, some tech stuff, some more games actually, one interesting one coming up this week that I want to talk about. Make sure you hit that notification bell down below so you're notified of all the different uploads we do here. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.